Here at Pavilion Gardens Cafe in Brighton, the bread's just being delivered, chairs are being put out. I think rubbish is being collected on New Road. Seagulls are pretty noisy, and this is controversial, and not everyone watching this will agree with what I'm about to say, but I think it's a really important conversation to have and an important theme to think about. And it's about the 1 or 2 minutes after your curtain call, or after lights have gone down, or after you've left the stage, and hopefully the audience has been applauding, you might have had an ovation, and then it's over. And I notice quite a lot of performers and shows that have left the audience with a deep impression of their work. It can quite often be something that's shocking, that has ended very, very gently, has ended on silence with the lights slowly going down, has reached a crescendo. Whether it's comedy or theatre, the thing has ended and the audience has absorbed it and reacted, and then they're ready to leave. And I have seen shows at the Edinburgh Fringe where people have left in complete silence. It's had such an impact on them. But there's usually a round of applause and then it's over. And definitely theatre performers, theatre companies do choose to have that's it, because they want that final moment or the whole thing to be what the audience are left with as they leave. And you can sometimes see people coming out of a show deeply affected. But often now, and I'd say in an increasing way, people see that minute, half a minute after a show has ended and the applause has happened as a opportunity to advertise. And that takes all different forms, and in my own view it's something not to do, though I understand that if your tickets are not all sold out, you want to sell more tickets, you want people to tell their friends, all of that stuff, it's almost an opportunity too good to miss. And I respect that, particularly I'd say in stand-up comedy. There is an accepted opportunity to have a little speech, thank people for coming, get them to tell their friends, if you've got another show on, to let them know about that, to advertise essentially. But from a purely artistic point of view, from the point of view of the work and its intended impact, it can spoil things, and I think it does spoil things, and I think it can even impact the impression that reviewers take away, and certainly audience. And in the end, if the purpose of you being in Edinburgh was to bring work and to have an impact, and that's the main reason, then you need to know that things need time to sink in, that silence is literally golden in that moment, and people just need to be able to leave. So I'm against, personally, mostly speeches afterwards, and sometimes they take squirming forms where somebody who's just played the most believable character, where we've been immersed in a particular world and suspended our disbelief, the lights go up and somebody with a rather cheesy grin, a self-important look, starts to thank everybody as if they've received an Oscar. And then they do the joke that is not a joke because it's just used so often, and you can probably hear the sort of frustration in my voice. Even the police seem to be coming, if you can hear that siren, they're so outraged too, is thank you for coming, if you enjoyed the show tell all your friends, and if you didn't, please keep quiet. And there's a few sort of cheesy grins or sniggers in the audience, and I think it just drops the impact down to zero or even into the negative. And I think I would encourage you to really weigh up the advantages and disadvantages of using this advertising opportunity and presenting a version of you. I think the word is sometimes bathos, rising from the sublime to the gore blimey, things really, really crashing down to earth in a way that you don't really want. And so what happens is you take the life out of your show, and people leave with a sense of being deflated. And so what happens then is that the artistic vision can get lost. And so at its worst, it's kind of self-important, a bit arrogant, and people don't like it. Where it's done very humbly, you can absolutely catch the audience's interest for another show you're doing, to remind them, please post a review on edfringe.com. But the problem still is it can deflate the show. So I would suggest you don't do it. I think you let the audience leave. But what you can do is have flyers down on seats. You can have the usher outside or one of your cast giving away those flyers that have got a QR code, and that's got all the information that's needed. but I think you should really consider that it's becoming a bit of an irritant to quite a lot of audience members not to be able to leave, go to the next show, but to hear some speech from you or some pitch, some advertising. And though I do respect the realism that goes with that, the opportunity not to be missed, I'd like to recommend you miss that opportunity. What do you think?